Hi, I'm Steph Ritz. Welcome to day 27 of our 30-day writing challenge. Today's question is, how have you followed the current of your unique purpose? So for me, I remember in high school in my senior year having moved across country when my mom remarried, and I knew that I wasn't going to college right away. I knew that I really wanted and needed some time off. My twin brother had stayed back in Wisconsin, and he was in the same boat. Neither of us were going straight to college. We were taking some time. And when it came close to graduating, I knew not only was I not supposed to be in college, I was supposed to be back in Wisconsin. And I actually arranged everything because I had a contract to work for the summer to graduate my senior year 3 weeks ahead of everyone else. I finished my coursework, got on a plane, went to Wisconsin. And I was one of two people in my graduating class that didn't go to college. This was big to take a break. Now it's a little more acceptable, but then not so much. And in that very first semester that I took off from college, I got my that I took off between high school and college, I got my driver's license. I'd always lived in metropolitan areas and never needed it, but my grandma was insistent. You have to get your license. You have to get your license. She took me driving. She took me for my test, got my license. And what would have been that first semester as well is when my grandma had her 3 strokes, when I became a caregiver, when I found my grandma on the floor at the foot of my door and had to figure out how to get her 4'11", 200 pounds off of the ground with half of her body numb and both of her knees supposed to be replaced that winter. It was one of the most intense moments of my life. I've had some since then that could rival it, but at the time I was 18. I'd not really experienced anything like that, but I knew in that moment it was so obvious to me that that's why I wasn't in school. That's why I felt so pulled to return to Wisconsin to be there for her. And it was stepping out into nature after getting her off the floor, got her to the bathroom so she could dress herself while seated, but trapped between a counter and the wall. And in that moment, in those couple of minutes, I ran outside to just be like, what is going on? Why me? What am I supposed to do? And as soon as I walked outside, you couldn't hear anything other than snowflakes hitting snow. It had snowed over two feet overnight already, and more was coming down. The snowflakes were so big that you could see their entire crystalline structure, each one different from the next. And in that moment, it was like getting a download. Push broom, shovel, pitchfork. What? All right, here we go. Off and running. No problem. A 2-minute break, and I had complete clarity of what I was supposed to do. I grabbed the push broom, I cleared all the snow off the car, shoved the pitchfork in the very front of the grass, and pulled the car all the way forward, shoveled the path to the door, went and got my grandma from the bathroom, walked behind her like a human wheelchair, lifting each side as we walked her forward, got her in the car, got her to the hospital, a place that I'd never driven to, didn't know the road names, and I kept her alive, and I kept her awake. And what happened in that car ride on the hour drive to the hospital, which somehow got her there in less than an hour, it was just extraordinary how every piece of the puzzle happened that day. But in that car ride, my grandma started sharing with me all the family secrets, the stories that I didn't know, the stories that would add perspective, add compassion, understanding, or stories that she just really didn't want to die with her. My mom predeceased my grandma, so it's not like she was sharing those stories. But my grandma took that hour to tell me everything. Her brain was still going. It was just some of the very recent stuff. But all of those old stories, that's how I kept her mind engaged and active on the way to the hospital. And then I became her voice. And she was my song. I spent years with her. She was my everything. But that moment and what came forward and what it was like to be with her is what led me to help be a voice for so many other people. It led me to encourage all of you to share your songs and your stories and to give voice to what we wouldn't know otherwise. I woke up this morning to find out that one of my friends from childhood had lost the battle to cancer. and it's emotional, but he is someone that we had this talk over and over again, and he did it. And he shared his voice very loudly and very clearly. And all I can ask is that you do the same. So how have you followed the current of your unique purpose? What is it that brought you here? How have you just known? What is it that you were going to face and you just knew what you were supposed to do? Or you knew that this was given to you for a very specific purpose? The things that you didn't plan, but kind of pushed you on that inner tube down the river. Again, I'm Steph Ritz. Give a like, give a comment, and write